Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we're back to another live stream of Hearthstone. Hello gamer guys 347 already on the chat, beating me to the chat even. Today is October 23rd, Monday. I have been granted, luckily enough, a free pack from, I believe the Twitch Prime is the reason why I got this pack. And I was granted 4 free Knights of the Frozen Throne packs for Choose Your Champion event that you need to follow Hearthstone on Twitter or Facebook or something, and they tell you to choose a champion every now and then, and you pick some random person in the tournament, and somebody hopefully the person you pick will win, thus allowing you to get more packs. So Hearthstone's trying to, at least a little bit, trying to be nicer to the players, trying to give them more things to do. So not the greatest of trade outs here. Play 30 warrior class cards, play 30 druid class cards, and play 10 pirates for 40, 40, and 50. But not terrible. Tavern Brawl will be back in a day. We're going to get free arena runs when the Halloween event happens. So let's start with the card pack. Now, on the Twitch Prime thing, I did have to pick which server. So, of course, I want more cards on my Americas account more than I want cards on anything on the European or Asian account. So, that's what I went with. Previously, we have seen instances where you would get free card packs for every account, so I might get all 4 of these Knights of the Frozen Throne card packs in every server, so that would be nice. 4 more card packs for those nearly brand new free-to-play accounts would help bolster the amount of options I have, which are ridiculously slim when you first start playing Hearthstone. I've also changed the title in an experiment on this stream. Now it is more accurately labeled as Hearthstone and Video Game News. The Video Game News seems, or at least it feels like to me, it's going to stay because it's an important part of my process to be informed as a video game critic. So I need that information, and I need to stream, and in the meantime both of those things can overlap. I am even, wow, 255 dust. I'm even considering I have 100 of that as an extra epic. Ooh. So I'd like to see which epic that is. That's new. Let's see. New. That's new. That's new. Actually, that's not what I need to type in. I need to type in extra. So there's an extra common here. Extra commons here. Extra commons here. Extra rare here. Extra common there. Extra common there. Extra comment there, and then a bunch of extra comments here. Which one is the epic? This one, the Nebrian Unraveler. So disenchant all that for 1315, which puts us close, dangerously close to having 1600 to make a legendary. And I'm not sure exactly what legendary I would need even. Like, let's see, if I type missing, like, we'll get into games in a second. Missing legendary. I think this will work. So, of all cards, we have that one, that one, That one. I probably wouldn't do that. In fact, let's be realistic. It would make all the sense in the world to probably make patches pirate. Like, I don't see a reason why we'd want Blood Mage, Nate Pagel. I mean, all these legendaries are reasonable things you would want, but who is the most important to have? Tankmaster Overspark. He's a classic, so he would probably be a decent chance, a decent thought. Here's one that might be one. Some of these cards I've played in Arena and I've liked them, which that doesn't really say too much. Harrison Jones. Like, it doesn't seem like that's ever going to get depowered. Do I need another Murloc? I've wanted this card for a very long time, but there's probably some really good card here. Like, this is a wild card, so there's no reason to get it. Probably. Let's see. Probably this. Dr. Boom. He was played a lot. No. Like, I need something that's not wild. Like, maybe I get Sky Captain Craig. I think he is a good thing because I might get the pirate, the other pirate card, if I have all the other pirates. Or at least that's how it used to work. I don't know if that's how it works now. Yogg-Saron's hoping maybe that's the one to get. Like, it's almost certainly going to be a classic card, though, a common card. I wouldn't want to get a specific one. Well, that's enough talk about that. Let's start playing some cards. Pirates. Do I have a pirate deck? Yeah, Pirate Druid. There you go. We'll start with some Pirate Druid. Play. And since we just have to play, then we can just play casual, ranked, Pirate Druid, begin. Let's hop into it. And let's start sort of with the news. Let's see. Well, I didn't even go through the, like, through my Twitter account recently. I did it about an hour ago, and then I already have 50 new things. I am right now doing the paperwork and scheduling, the thing that at one point I'm gonna start thinking about just live streaming that too. Just as part of the live stream on these days, I'm gonna force people to watch me play, not even play a game, just do paperwork and not talk while doing it, in some kind of silent post game show craziness. Yeah, I don't think anybody would watch that. Even I think that that's too far. Let's see. Apparently, there's an article about why I got that classic card, and turns out there's a slightly different reason. It's because they've updated the Battle.net desktop app, which, okay, it has now the social tab, which I think is transitioning over the setup of the chat box. Like, I don't know exactly if it's really adding too much new. Oh, I could have put that on Flappy Bird. I did not even think of that. Oh well. Hmm. Free card packs are good though. I mean, you can't really complain about free cards. I feel like they need to get it down to the point where you're constantly getting free card packs, like at least one every week. Let's see. Do I want to do this? I think I do. Hmm. Mm-hmm. And if I scroll down enough on the news, yes I have, so now I'm caught up. Make sure I'm looking at the at the chat. It's odd, my screen went dim on my phone and I don't have it programmed to do that. At least I didn't think I did. Darn it. So, Battleborn bids farewell with its final update. The release of the fall update means development is now over. In a lot of ways, and you'll never get the current Gearbox to admit this, but in a lot of ways it feels like the idea was to get something out while they were developing Borderlands 3 and make some money because they were, I assume, not making enough money to survive off of. It's probably the same reason why there is even a publishing division at Gearbox, is that they're just trying to make enough money to survive while development has probably been a little slower than they expected on Borderlands 3, because it's been a long time. And Battleborn, while it looks a little bit different, the system really did feel like it was a great way for them to play around with ideas of RPG skills that you'll unlock in the next game. And I wouldn't be surprised if you find in Borderlands 3 a considerable amount of overlap. And a lot of people probably won't even really notice if there was any overlap. As a game itself, and not looking at it as just this way to charge people while you're doing development, it was really hurt by Overwatch, but its ideas also hurt it in a lot of ways. Like, the idea of leveling up your character very quickly is good. The idea of losing your character's levels ups at the end of play is very, very bad. You can never take away in almost anything. Like, once you give, you have to give forever. If they hadn't had that system and instead had just let people play over and over again and slowly grind like a normal game would to unlock more levels, that might be interesting, but then it would also unbalance a multiplayer game, and that's why it would be very difficult, if not impossible, to make a MMO with skill unlock systems, not without also having a lot of matchmaking so that you can put the really good players together and the really bad players together so they're on equal footing, assuming that's what your matchmaking is trying to do, and it isn't like Activision's matchmaking patent. It's just designed to drive people to buy microtransactions. I guess we should applaud Battleborn for not being full of microtransactions. This is a game that really failed, not because uh, of doing something inherently horrible, just kind of having a slightly unfun game. It failed simply because of competition. Uh, what I imagine you would have wanted to do, and this is crazy to do, honestly, they probably did the exact right thing, is just put it out there, pretend like they were going to continue supporting it for a while, and make some money. Same as, like, For Honor, in all realistic thoughts, probably did do the right thing, even though it failed it's failing as a mobile game. Uh, Sometimes you just have to put out your work, and like, as a critic, I kind of think maybe in the first week or two they should say, pull back, we're going back into beta, we're rethinking this, try to turn it into maybe something like PUBG, try to copy something else. All of those, I guess, are certainly thoughts you could have tried, but at the end of the day, I really don't think anything would have helped. And so, Battleborn, maybe they could put a single player element in it. You know, if they had started as free to play, maybe it would have worked a little bit better too. But yeah, I think I think at the end of the day, you're just gonna have to hope that you did enough. You learned enough from Battleborn, from this game that is arguably probably one of the worst failures of a game in the past 5 years. I'm just hoping that maybe they got enough information for online play to make Borderlands 3 be a good game. And they got enough feedback and skilling and on-the-job training for Borderlands 3. Now, there is a very valid concern here, is what do you do if something like Overwatch comes out right when Borderlands 3 comes out? Like, I don't know what there could be that comes out that would be a loot-based shooter that would topple Borderlands, but there might be something. If Overwatch itself came out and they announced some single player elements that, like an entirely 60-hour plus single player campaign for Overwatch, that could kill Borderlands 3. So what do? Do you announce early when it's coming out? Do you talk behind the scenes and make sure that nobody else gets in your way? Let's see. Like, yeah, that's going to be the major concern, because if it really is that Activision Blizzard is gunning for Gearbox, which hasn't really been alleged or thought, but if they really are gunning for them, and there is a Overwatch game with single player experience that takes everything that we know and expect from Borderlands and puts it in their game, like, that could be a killer, really. Like, Gearbox is not so stable. I wouldn't believe that it couldn't just file for bankruptcy, particularly being a Texas company where it is kind of common to overspend your company in Texas and then go for bankruptcy. and then come out of bankruptcy. There's a uh, there's a section in the bankruptcy law called Section 23 in Texas that seems to be very good. So good, in fact, that a company went bankrupt and then renamed themselves Section 23 in honor of it. Moving on with the news. So the Blizzard Battle.net app is now better than ever with the addition of social tab, Blizzard groups, profiles, avatars, gifting, and more to celebrate the launching of gifts. Here's a Hearthstone Classic card pack. So, have we gotten down to the point now where people can gift card packs to me? That would be great. That would be great. So, how does one gift a card pack? To send a gift, head to the shop tab, select gifting enabled on standard Hearthstone's welcome bundles, pre-purchase, and new heroes are all available. We need to go check that out. So, if somebody wants to support this Hearthstone endeavor more and give me packs, that would be great. Particularly if people just wanted to give me $10 to get different like faces, because like I don't value the different faces at all, but if people want to see me play them, like I'll be fine with that. We might as well do damage here, even though we're gonna lose. So the 80s slasher movie puzzler, that's a mouthful of a type of game. The game called Slayaway Camp is coming out on Xbox One and PS4 next week. Let's see. Slayaway Camp really has this brick blocky look to it as I'm watching the trailer. The game came out about a year ago, and it had some interesting thoughts, but then the graphics kind of don't line up with it. And this actually might not even be the game I'm thinking about now that I'm looking at the trailer. There were several games like this. Okay. So, where's the gifting enabled button? Well, I'm not going to click the buy button. Options, perhaps? They haven't put anything new in the options in a really long time. Well, I have enough gold that I guess I could buy it with gold and then see if we can gift it after this point. And then I just have one pack I purchased, which isn't too terrible of an idea. So let's try this. Purchase complete. No, it looks like I just bought a pack. Well, Blizzard has managed to trick me. Like, there's no way to gift this pack. Like, you can't just drag it down this way or anything like that. So I guess what you need to do, does this button work? No. I could never figure out the quick open button. I know it's here somewhere. I guess you need to buy it probably on the website to gift. So keep that in mind. That was a waste of 100 gold. Yeah. And I'm still looking at the Slayaway Camp thing here, and so that's 2 new cards, apparently. Let's see. disenchant that dust. And now we're up to 1400 dust. Let's see. And we're still trying to play pirates, and we're not really getting very far with the pirate druid deck. Do I have another pirate deck somewhere? Yeah, we do. We have a wild pirate. Here, let's try this one. Yeah, Slayaway Camp doesn't particularly catch my interest. We have an Eric Lee on the chat saying hello, hello. It's called Slayaway Camp Butcher's Cut, coming to Xbox One and PS4, and it's going for about $13. And from the looks of it with this blocky animation, I don't know if I could really recommend a game like that. Moving on to the next bit of news. We have PC Gamer now putting up an ad blocker, telling me I can't have an ad blocker now on their site, so I have to look at their crappy ads. Should I rage quit or should I turn off ads? Let's see. uBlock origin. Let's see. Let's see. Well, whatever I just did fixed it. Let's see. There's a game in early access on sale right now for $18. Called Cogmind on Steam. It's a very roguelike rogue game where you build and rebuild a robot. So I'm wondering, is the idea here that the AI that you program plays the rogue game and you're just programming the robot? No, it seems more like you're controlling multiple elements and you're not just programming a single AI. Let me watch the but it is also like in early access, so who knows what this game will really play like when it's done. Eric Lee, do you accept game requests? Yes, if you want to send me a friend request, I will play you in most situations. If you mean Hearthstone, if you want to request that I play some other game, I will look at it and put it on my very long wish list in Steam and get around to it no earlier than at least 6 months. Probably a lot later than that. You can find me on Hearthstone RYDO number 1423. Like, people have a very, like, I'm trying to say this very nicely, but people have a very wide variety of games that they've recommended me to play on Steam, and I've looked at them all, and more than half of them I've said there's no reason why I'd ever want to play this game. But I'll certainly look at it. I want that information so that I can at least find new games to consider. But I'm not so far off the normal path. I do try to stick to mostly AA and AAA games, and a lot of times people are recommending things that are like cell phone ports or things that have never deserved or gotten any coverage in their life. Or they're extremely niche games that would take an incredible amount of time. Like, So yeah, Cogmind. Cogmind looks terrible. It's in early access. It looks terrible because it's a roguelike, and roguelite is done when is roguelite Rogue, the original game, was done via ASCII text on computers that couldn't even do graphics, and it looks like that. But it does put a different twist on it. I think there's probably too much nostalgia for Rogue as a game, and people should kind of realize it, what kind of game it really was. Correctly, I meant other games, but no point in requesting it if you're gonna play it in 6 months. Yep, that's why I said both answers right there, is because I figured I'll look at a game, I will consider it, but it's highly, highly unlikely it's gonna be just so mind-blowingly awesome that it's gonna get me to buy it. Not even the people who spend millions of dollars advertising the brand new games convince me to drop everything and record it now. And there's the reason why it takes so long is because I pre-record most of the things on my channel, and am now, even right now, working towards having my pre-recordings get further and further ahead. YouTube's content ID system requires that most videos be uploaded at least 30 days before they air, which is ridiculous. Otherwise, you have to deal with other ways of making income, because you know that your live streams of a game are going to either be demonetized by Content ID or demonetized for some other reason. And so then you get a lot of sponsorships, which people probably have very well noticed that is happening a lot these days. People are trying to, let's see, how do we want to do this? I guess we'll go with this one. Attack here. I wish I could give this some more durability. And then there's just a financial element. Like the people that are playing every single new game as soon as it comes out, or any game as they're requested, are the people that are either extremely successful, or they're getting the games for free. And people that are getting games for free now are having trouble because the FCC is telling them, or the FTC, yeah, it's the FTC, are telling them that what you're doing is illegal, which it was always, but they were getting away with it because you're not disclosing the fact that you're getting effectively paid in a free game to advertise this product, whether or not you think you're advertising it or not. The law says you are. If you're getting any kind of payment at all, it's a sponsored ad. The only thing I could say right now is if anybody could friend me on Steam and figure out how to gift a thing to Steam, I guess maybe you could also follow me on Twitter and direct message me Steam keys or something like, and I would see it there too. If I don't have to pay for a game, then I have a lot less excuse to wait 6 months. But I very well may only play a game for like 30 minutes and say, well, this game isn't for me. Thanks for it. I may do what I call a spotlight and do just one episode. Or I may really like the game, but still not have any time for it. And fans requesting games is, what is it? What card is this? If your deck has no duplicate, the next spell you cost 0. Interesting. It's completely an uncontrolled situation, even if you're a small streamer like me and people request games and you play and you promise to play all the games that people request, you would be overwhelmed by requests immediately. If you're a giant streamer that could afford to play all the games that people would request, you'd get too many requests, you would get overwhelmed. There's really no scenario. Like, game requests are more for friends, and streamers just aren't your friends. Like, they can't be. There's too many people who will watch it. Hmm. 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 Let's see, Eric Lee, what's your part-time job then? Question mark. There is no part-time job that I'm doing right now. This is a full-time job. It's just I've already got so many games to play that I've picked and purchased and invested in that uh like honestly that doesn't help anything either. Anyways, if I had a part-time job, it would just take away hours and I'd have less hours to play a game. Uh and ooh, did I start a timer? No, I didn't. So I'm gonna start a timer for 15 minutes because I think I've been going about 30 minutes, and I make my episodes. I break up the recordings. And anybody working a part-time job will pretty much unanimously tell you that that doesn't give you a lot of extra money to buy extra games. Moving on with the video game news though, because I've probably covered this several times, uh, but I do try to put in enough of an explanation so people can realize why, like, almost no streamer is gonna take that request, and or at the very least why I'm not gonna take game requests. Uh, but because if you just say no, I don't take game requests, people get mad like you're just being short and rude. Or at least that's how I was looking at it. Let's see. So here's the developer of a game called Root Double, which is called Regista, is going to make Switch titles, which is weird because I have not heard of this company at all, and that is rather slightly odd. Now, Root Double series is a visual novel series from Japan, so that explains a lot of it. And apparently, Regista is a limited company that is a subsidiary of NIS, Nippon Ichi Software, which is a company I do know. It just goes by NIS mostly. Let's see. Regista's going to make let's see, a game called Un Birthday Song, At O Uta, Shinigami, Another Record, and Star Sky Window Stories for the PS Vita. So I don't know how many games that really was, like, because there's so many symbols. I think that's 3 games. 3 visual novel games are coming to the Switch, which is more down the path of what I have seen as a trend, where people are more and more Japanese companies are trying to put visual novel and Japanese niche games on the Switch, and the support for the PlayStation Vita is finally drying up many years now after really PlayStation abandoned it. Let's see, we got somebody new on the chat. Deadshot. Deadshot says, "Lol, you can't speak for every streamer. Come on, no offense." You're right. Like, sure, there's probably some streamer out there that would be rolling in cash and rolling in time and has found a way to take every request for every game. But, and that's why I tried to justify that by saying any streamer I know, or at least I thought I said that. Maybe I didn't. Like there are streamers out there that do everything, certainly, but I don't personally know how you can maintain any kind of budget uh, at any point of your life in a streaming channel if as if you're going to accept every game request. Like well, I guess there is one way. Like, if the streamer's literally just stealing the games, then it wouldn't matter to him at all. If he's just torrenting the games left and right, but that's really no way to run a business. But it's not how I like to play games too. Like, a lot of people. A lot of people do on their channels just play a game until they get bored with it, or they do just like one stream with it and then they move on. On my channel, for almost well, for at least the vast majority of games, I play all the way to the end. Like, I want to actually see the end of games when I play games. Maybe I'm a little weird that way, but it's just like a lot of people do just like, okay, I'm bored with it, or this is a Friday stream, so we're doing it until stream. See, I think this game is cool, but starting from nothing can kill me. Can you give me your account password and username so I can play with good cards? Seriously, what's wrong? You're asking him to give you access to your account? Maybe I don't get the joke, even if that was a joke. So, Eric Lee is now asking me for the account password of Hearthstone, and Deadshot is responding really the exact same way I'd respond. Like, just in case you're not getting the message, and the answer is no. No, I would never give anybody access to my Hearthstone account. Like I don't even know what kind of things you could do that were too horrible if I gave away access to my Hearthstone account. But like, I guess the worst thing they could probably do is buy things on my credit card or just never give access back. But yeah, no. Like, that's partially why people don't watch me stream and watch other Hearthstone streamers stream, is because Hearthstone takes way too long for new players to get into the point where they're even having a decent collection of cards, unless you go away from the free-to-play model and spend several hundreds of dollars worth of actual real-world money to buy packs. Maybe I need to just make another rule. Like, I've just changed the stream title to better reflect that I cover video game news, because people were complaining that I wasn't talking directly about Hearthstone while I was playing Hearthstone. I've been playing Hearthstone for at least 2.5 years now, and there's not a lot more to say. But maybe just in the spirit of growth and improving what people should ask and expect from my channel, maybe I should just start putting no requests, no game requests, don't ask me for anything. Like, I think I might like need to really just phrase it, do not ask me for anything, period. Like, the answer is no. Because honestly, most of the times I have to say no regardless of what the question is. Like, I hate saying no to the fans, but you can't say yes to almost every request. Let's play this and do this. So it kind of suck, but whatever. Next bit of news, we have a game called Azuma 11 Eras for the PS4, Switch, iOS, and Android, launching in summer of 2018. And it looks like a soccer-based game. The game uses a design that allows even people who do not normally enjoy playing soccer or football to the rest of the world games to enjoy playing soccer. It will maintain the strategic nature of soccer while also not making it difficult. So it feels like it's a kid-friendly soccer game, like, or just a non-soccer fan-friendly soccer game. Inazuma 11, I believe, is actually like an anime. It sounds familiar. 5 episodes of Football Frontier are inside of it. So there's some kind of episodic storyline based play. Let's watch the trailer here. Eric Lee comes back. Have I gotten a sponsor before? No. Intentionally, I've never done, and I don't feel like I ever would do anything like that. Like, I want to be a critic with some credibility, and so selling out is not part of the plan, if that makes sense. So the closest thing is one company contacted me after I had already bought and played the game, or maybe I got the game for free because they were giving it away to everybody. They contacted me and said, hey, would you like a free copy of this game, after I had already covered it, and I never contacted them back. That is the that indirect conversation that I never responded to is as close as I have ever done with the video game industry, and as close as I want to be with the video game industry, because I have a major problem with all the big video game critics out right now getting very close and very friendly with the video game industry, and then they just become like they're advertising the games. They're not critical. They don't have credibility. They all seem to fall into groupthink and say the exact same things. They all want to agree with each other and be friends with everybody. Now, as far as non-direct video game developers and sponsorships like G2A, going with GTA doesn't make any sense at all because of its controversies, and like, honestly, I'm not here to sell things. If a game is bad, I don't want people buying it. I'm here for the viewers. So I want to be 100% free to say what I actually believe and not compromise myself anywhere. If a game is good and I enjoy it, I'll say it's good and I enjoy it. I generally try to, I hope that I try to say these are the good parts and this would be the reason why you would want to buy this if you're interested in that. But there are certainly a lot of games out there that could be great, and I think are great, that just aren't good matches. There's totally people out there that only play Battlefield games and they have no interest in playing anything else. And there's totally people out there that just play cell phone games and they have no interest in anything else. And so those people are looking for different things and they probably won't be very well served for me. See, Eric Lees, I just scanned through your videos. Your titles aren't specific enough and are pretty boring. Well, that's because it's episodic content. It's a video that comes out is the first episode in the covering of a game from beginning to end. These are long play reviews that I'm not doing clickbait titles or things that don't work. YouTube, whether it's not YouTube tells us, and who knows if it's true or not, that you have to end episodic content with the number. So, like, if it says Hearthstone number 474, YouTube is supposed to then suggest after you watch that Hearthstone 475. And YouTube tells us, whether it's true or not, to not fill titles with irrelevant things or tags or elements that are unnecessary. Let's see, I'm playing Druid cards now. So I guess I could just play my Helper Druid deck. So I don't spend a lot of times on the titles, true. The only thing I've added to titles lately is sometimes I'll put little emojis on them to make them stand out, but yeah. I did spend a lot of time on titles on my very first stream, which would have been my first two streams when I started my channel, which would have been The Binding of Isaac and FTL. And I did think of a bunch of funny titles, and Plague Inc. also, I did that too. I would put funny things and they would get me a few views, but it was a lot of extra work, and it was a lot of extra time getting taken away from playing games. When I first started, I was covering like 2 or 3 games, and that was it. Now I try to cover 4 or 5, and that extra time comes from not fiddling with tags and titles on YouTube. And even trying to fiddle with all that stuff really doesn't help at all. Like, clickbait doesn't work as far as I've seen. Not unless you're a big person. Clickbait works perfectly fine for PewDiePie, but it doesn't work for new people. And you can see that on PewDiePie's videos too. He just doesn't care what he labels things. Like, his titles are completely random jokes, but because he has such an inbuilt audience, he knows people will watch it. Let's see. Deadshot Battlefield 4 is indeed the stuff better than cocaine. I play it non-stop. It's just so addictive. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And see, I don't like military shooters at all. So I probably, personally, would never play Battlefield, any of the Battlefield games. Or if I would play them, I'm just going to play them for the story mode and see what I can get out of that instead of the competitive part. But I certainly understand that other people like it, and I don't look down on people who like it. It's just never been my bag. This will be the last game for this recording, and then I'll take a short minute break to break up the recordings, because I put up recordings of this later on. So this deck is actually really interesting because it's designed to play against people and give them mana and give them cards and let them play as many cards as possible, while also making it as quickly as possible. So it's full of a lot of things that draw cards. It's full of things that heal. It's full of things to just allow the other player to level up their characters because of the many requirements of uh, of Hearthstone to level up to at least level 20 to play things. Like Deadshot goes like role-playing, story-driven games. Yeah, mostly for YouTube in particular. Those are the kind of games I like to play. Story-driven more than role-playing even. Like, and those certainly work out a lot better. Like, if I was covering Battlefield 4 in multiplayer, I have to sit there and talk the whole time. And then I have to think of insightful commentary the whole time, or I'm just gonna sit in silence or just say garbage. And it's not, in my mind, going to be the greatest of content. But if I'm playing, say, something like a Telltale game, like The Walking Dead, I don't have to talk for about a third of the game because all I have to do is pick a decision in the dialogue and then let the other characters talk for the next few minutes, which certainly helps my voice, where otherwise it's literally just exhausting to speak that long. Even these live streams that I've started doing, they get really long, and that's why after a while I'll go into the post-show mode where I'll just mute myself, and if people want to watch me play Hearthstone silently, that's fine, because I'll have run out of things to either talk about, or my voice have just been so worn out from 3 to 5 hours of talking straight. Let's see. What's your opinion on horror games? In general, they're alright. They don't normally scare me. Evil Within is a game I want to get around to, but it honestly is not worth the value that they're asking for. Like Evil Within 1, even right now, I don't think is probably worth the money until you can get it on like a Steam summer sale. So that'll be something I'm looking at. Right now, for Halloween, all of October becomes Halloween month. Every single thing on my channel right now is a Halloween game. So like I'm covering Downfall, which is a very horrific point-and-click adventure. It's the sequel to a game called The Cat Lady, which I highly recommend people watch and play. And it's very, very horrific. I'm also wrapping up the kids segment on my channel. I used to play a lot of Lego games for kids and try to find kids games, but Lego games weren't running well on my video card for some crazy reason, and so that would cause a lot of lag that other people weren't experiencing, which sucked. And I was just being overwhelmed by too ambitious amount of projects, too many games to cover at the same time. So I may in the future do kids game, but I'm not going to have a separate time slot in which kids games come out. So we're doing Cosmic Quest right now on that. My 7 o'clock Central Time time slot is Dead Space right now. And so that's a AAA horror game. There's so many horror games that come out throughout the year that you can easily, and you kind of have to, cover a bunch of them in October for Halloween, and then several more of them throughout the year. The thing is, things like Layers of Fear, which is a game I'd like to cover, but I feel like I probably do a pretty bad job on it because it's just full of jump scares, and as I play it, I won't be scared at all. I'm not one of those streamers that were doing what's the game with the mechanical machines? Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, I'm not like one of those streamers that does Five Nights at Freddy's and is gonna overreact and act silly and have face cam and do all of that. So I'll probably play a game like Five Nights at Freddy and just be mostly silent and just like, okay, that happened, whatever. I have a very clear idea in my head that video games are fiction and fiction is not real, so they don't really scare me. See, I do want to do Evil Within 2 at some point. Eric Lee asks, why is the game sound muted? The game sound is not muted. It's just a little quiet, just so it doesn't get in the way. Like, if you can't hear it now, like, I am messing with the noise reduction on my microphone, but in my recording software, that's not affecting the game sound at all. So if you can't hear the game music and you can hear me, let me know. If you can't hear the game music, let me know on the chat, because I did have to just change my audio a lot, and so maybe it isn't balanced. Deadshot says, that sounds like outright laziness, but of course I understand if you have a life and you're busy with, unlike others, lol. Like, it's just picking and choosing. Like, I have over 5,000 videos on my channel, and I've been doing this for just a couple of years. Like, you go look at a lot of other YouTubers, streamers, or people who are ambitious to be streamers, and they don't make anywhere as much content, or their videos are only 5 minutes long, where my videos on average are 45 minutes to an hour long. So I'm putting in the effort at some points. There are times when I am lazy, certainly. Everybody is. But I have put a lot of work on it, and I'm proud for the amount of work I've done. Where it goes. Where the work goes sometimes isn't seen by the viewers, though. There's a lot of paperwork and a lot of other work that has to be done in the background, more than you would realize or want. And then Eric Lee on the chat says, why do you play games that I haven't ever heard about? That's an interesting question, really. And the answer is in your question. I play games you haven't heard about, so you hear about them, so you can think about them. That's the whole point of being a video game critic and a reviewer. If you're doing it to actually satisfy and help your audience, you want to show them new things and help them make a purchasing decision on whether they want to play that game or not. If you're just going to play the same games that people already know about, then you're not really a video game critic or a reporter. You're more of a retrospective fan who's just going to talk about things everybody already knows about. Imagine if somebody was reviewing music and all they did was talk about the Beatles' White Album every single week. Always. That might appeal to a few people, but it hardly is helpful for people who want to get into what's coming out in 2017 or 2018. And a lot of the reasons a lot of the reason why some of the games I've played are lesser known, simply because they were cheaper on Steam summer sales. Like, if I spend, say, $300 on a Steam summer sale, which is about what I spend, I could, in theory, buy 4 $60 games and hit about $300. Or I could buy 300 $1 games. And the truth is, what I do is closer to $301 games than it is for $60 games. Now, it isn't exactly $301 games. Some games go for like $5, $2. But I would rather have more variety. I'd rather be more unique. I'd rather, as YouTube works, I'd rather people to be able to type in something in the Google or YouTube and my videos be suggested, because I'm a big fish in a small pond, because I know, at least right now, I'm not going to be a big fish in a big pond. If PewDiePie covers Hearthstone a lot and people type in Hearthstone, they're going to get recommended PewDiePie videos. That's how it works. But if people type in, let's say, the cat lady, as an example, they might be recommended my videos, because I don't know how many other people play the cat lady. That's probably not even a great example. There's a couple of things that are going to air in November that are games that were actually fake games that were eliminated from Steam. So if people type in that, they might get recommended my videos because I actually played those games and own them, sadly. Well, it's probably been 45 minutes, so stay tuned if you're watching live. But if you're watching this as a recording many months later, as always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos, because all that helps me with YouTube and tells them that my videos are worth watching. If you want to friend or follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, Steam, or Battle.net, all of those links are down below in the description box. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.